Township Committee, and on behalf of the full Township Committee, we want to thank you for coming today to join us in this reorganization. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and we've posted written notice to all the adjoining municipalities concerning today's meeting. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask that you please stand, and we would like to welcome Father Jude Salas, pastor of Notre Dame of Mount Carmel Roman Catholic Church, and Father Jude will lead us in the opening prayer. Father Jude, welcome.
Good to be here. Good morning, everyone. I know it's a pleasure for you as it is for me. I've spent more than half my priesthood in Hanover Township. I'd like to use an adaptation of a prayer that General Douglas MacArthur wrote that my dad, God rest him, kept in his wallet all his life. It was a prayer that MacArthur wrote soon after his son was born, and he wanted it to be known that even though he was a professional soldier, he always wanted his son not to remember his battles, but to remember his faith and the goodness that that inspired. And he prayed a prayer that God would help him to keep that son vibrant and alive and in faith. And so I would use that for this afternoon's prayer. So Lord, we pray for all of our Christian churches this beautiful new day, all of our Jewish brothers and sisters, all who call God by a different name than we, and those as yet, God, who cannot call you by any name because they're having a difficult time believing. We pray for all those who receive prejudice by race, color, creed, sexual orientation, severe disabilities, old age, special needs. May we never tear anyone down, but help them to see the goodness of a God who lives in us. Please, on this January 1st, build us a mayor, a committee, township citizens, dear God, who will be strong enough to know when they are weak, brave enough to face themselves when they are afraid. Build us a mayor, a committee, a citizenry, whose wishes will not take the place of deeds. Lead them, we pray, not in a path of ease and comfort, but under the stress and spur of difficulties and challenge. Let them learn to stand in the storm. Let us learn compassion for those who have fallen. Build us a mayor, a committee, a township citizenry, whose hearts are clear, whose goals will always be high, who will master themselves before they seek to master anyone else, who will reach into the future yet never, ever, ever forget the past and those on whose shoulders we stand. Oh God, after all these things, after all of these things are theirs, add, we pray, enough of a sense of humor, so that they may always be serious, yet never take themselves too seriously. Then their Heavenly Father will dare to whisper, I have never, ever sent my Son in vain. We ask all of this, as always we do, through Jesus, your Son, who lives and reigns with you, one God, forever and ever. Amen. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. We're honored, as we always are every year, to have the Hanover Township Veterans Alliance present to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the posting of the colors. Captain Lind.
Detail. Notice. Present. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready? Two. Pick that up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you. As we begin with our formal meeting this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we need to do a roll call. We do it twice. So members of the committee present this morning, Committeeman Gallagher.
Here.
Committeeman Ferramasca.
Here.
And Committeeman Francioli.
Here.
First order of business is to read into the record the statement of determination by the Board of Canvassers, signed by Ann F. Grossi, Morris County Clerk, and John R. Setti, Chairman of the Board of Canvassers. Statement of determination of the Board of Canvassers relative to an election held in the Township of Hanover, County of Morris, for the election of certain municipal officers of the municipality on the 4th day of November, 2014. The said board does determine that at the said election, Robert M. Bruno Jr. was elected to a 3-year term of office as a member of the Township Committee, and George Frank Coppola was also elected to serve as a member of the Township Committee for a 3-year term. We have a second statement of determination of the Board of Canvassers relative to a school election held in the County of Morris and State of New Jersey for the election of certain school board members for the Hanover Park Regional School District and the Hanover Township School District, again on the 4th of November. The said board does determine that at the said election, the following members were elected to serve terms of office on either the regional board or the school district board for Hanover Township. James J. Herbert, member of the regional board, 3-year term. Anne Marie Coyley, member of the regional board, unexpired term, 1 year. Salvatore A. Azzarello, member of the Hanover Township School District, 3 years. Brian Cahill, member of the Hanover Township School District, 3 years. Glenn Yanata, member of the Hanover Township School District, 3 years. And Rose McCauley, member of the Hanover Township School District, an unexpired 1-year term. Once again, certified by Ann F. Grossi, Esquire, Morris County Clerk, and John R. Setti, Chairman of the Board of Canvassers for the County of Morris. We'll also indicate for the record that today's proceedings, notification appeared in full in the Morris County Daily Record on the 22nd of December, with written notice provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the administration of the oaths of office to both Committeeman-elect Coppola and Committeeman-elect Bruno. And it gives me great pleasure at this time to ask Brian R. O'Toole, the judge of our municipal court, to step forward to administer the oath of office to Mr. Coppola.
You look great. God bless you. This is both an honor and a privilege, because there's no finer servant of this township than Mr. Coppola. Are we ready?
Ready.
Okay, got it. I, George F. Coppola,
I, George F. Coppola,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of Township Committee
of the office of Township Committee
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
You're the man. Actually, I think this has to go back to Mr. George here.
You have to sign it down here,
Uh-huh.
Judge, and
Do
also
that.
Committee Man Capola.
Good going, Joe.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time I'll ask Committee Man-elect Bruno to step forward.
Thank you.
And his wife, Sharon. Raise your right hand, please. With the whole family in. And repeat after me. I, Robert M. Bruno Jr.,
I, Robert M. Bruno
do
Jr.,
solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of New Jersey,
and the state of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United
and
States
in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of Township Committee
all the duties of the office of Township Committee
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue with our agenda,
Thank you very much.
at this time, we need a motion to appoint a temporary chairman.
So moved. Second?
Second?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. And at this time, our next portion of business will be regular appointments. And we'll entertain nominations for the position of chairman of the Township Committee. The chairman of the Township Committee serves as the spokesperson for the entire Township Committee. Doesn't have any more power or authority than the other four members. They all share power and authority equally and responsibility for all actions on behalf of the Township of Hanover. So at this time, may we have a motion for, or rather nominations for a chair.
It is my honor to nominate Ron Francioli for the position of chairman.
Committeeman Capola has nominated
Second.
Ronald Francioli. We have a second by Committeeman Faramasca. Are there any other nominations?
Motion to close nominations.
We have a motion by Mr. Faramasca to close nominations.
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Bruno. All in favor?
Aye.
Now on the vote for the chairman to serve as mayor, Mr. Francioli. On roll call, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Faramasca.
Aye.
Mr. Bruno.
Aye.
Mr. Capola.
Aye.
And Mr. Francioli will abstain.
Abstain.
Mr. Chairman, it gives me great pleasure to turn over the gavel to you.
Thank you. Very good. Appreciate that. Thank you, Joe. And thank you, members of the Township Committee, once again for your support and your faith in me to continue on in 2015. Much appreciated. And I want to welcome Father Jude this morning. His opening prayer, wonderful. Wonderful that we can all be here to hear opening prayer. And Father Jude did a wonderful job with that. Thank you very, very much. I want to welcome everyone, give you all our happy New Year, healthy, happy, prosperous New Year from all of us on the Township Committee. I hope you made all your resolutions. I hope you wrote them down. And by next week, you'll be looking at them again. But at this particular time, we have some guests with us, and I'd like to recognize them. It's an honor for them to take time out of their day to be with us here in Hanover Township. And I'd like to start with Ann Grossi, our county clerk. Ann, where are you back there? There you are. Okay. Happy New Year, Ann. Ann has done a wonderful job so early on as county clerk, and she did a wonderful job as freeholder, and I'm very, very proud of her and her support for all of us here in Hanover Township. As well, and the soon-to-become Deputy Director of the Freeholder Board, John Cicero. John, where are you? There you go. Happy New Year. Thank you, John. Happy New Year. Looking forward to working with you in the future. And David Specchio, David Freeholder, here. Most of you know David is one of our local businessmen, and if you don't, you know, right down there on Route 10 is his business with us here in Hanover. And as well, John Crickus, John's with us, Freeholder Crickus. Happy New Year, John. Thank you for joining us as well. And along with that, it's always an honor every year to have a fellow mayor, and John Druster's here from Morris Plains. Frank. That's okay. You'll get an opportunity to get back at me, you know. And Sue McCluskey, president of their board, is here too. Sue. We'll be working with Frank this year, this coming fall, on a project that we've done here in Hanover and done in East Hanover as well, and a project that has been headed up by Tom Ace Gallagher, one of our committeemen, and most of you know it as the One Day, One School project. We'll be going to the borough this year to help with their 2 schools, and doing a safety program where the trees and landscape is concerned. So we're looking forward, Frank, to working with you on that in this coming year, and looking closely to working with you on so many other matters that we mutually have as our 2 sister townships here in the county. Want to wish a happy New Year to our administrator, Joe Giorgio, right-hand guy. Been continuing, done a fantastic job with us all these years, and will continue to do so along the way. To my fellow committeemen as well, as I said earlier, a very, very happy New Year. Looking forward to working with you in the future. I know each one of my committeemen has comments as the meeting goes on, and they will comment about their various boards, various liaisonships, etc. I'd like to also thank Jojo O'Toole for being with us this morning and doing the swearing in. Brian? He's not only a wonderful municipal judge for the Township of Hanover, I always tell the joke about people leaving municipal court with a smile on their face, you know? Well, you know, you just got hit with $200 in court fees, another $200 for the state, and so forth. Well, thank you very much, Judge. You do a great job with that, Brian. Really great job.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And it's much appreciated. I want to thank us legal staff, and both Fred Sumerow, Steve Tremblay, Dan Bernstein, Mike Sullivan, who all represent us on our various boards and in front of the Township Committee. Without them, you know, I think without their guidance, we'd be floundering along, and they do an excellent job. I want to remind everybody about the Township Committee meetings and an effort to make all of the activities that we do here in Hanover Township available to you. Our meetings are the second and fourth Thursday of every single month, right here in this room where you are now. The conference session begins at 7:30. 8:30 is a regular meeting. As you can see by in the back of the room, all the meetings of the Township Committee are videotaped. You guys have the freeholders doing that yet?
Audio, we do audio.
Yeah? All right. Okay, it's well received, well viewed, and of course we want participation here in the room. Videos are wonderful, but if you've got an issue and you've got something you want to talk about, come here and see us and talk to us directly, and you'll get your answers, and I think that's the best way to do it. You can also access us on the web, hanovertownship.com. And you can look at previous forecasts. If you get a little bored and you don't have a hobby and you want to tune in one of those, fine. We're also on Channel 21, but I did want to bring that to your attention. We're doing more in the not too distant future about getting more information about our township out there in a transparent fashion. And we're stepping into social networking. And that will be something that 2015 we'll see. We'll find Hanover Township on both Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. And in order to get more information and more of our activities out there. We've got some good people working on it. The agency for the Township Committee, Brushfire, is working on that as we speak. We're putting together a committee. Robin Dente, where are you, Robin? Are you here? I'm not sure where. No, not here today. Silvio says she's not here. And Robin will be heading that up, and we'll be forming a subcommittee on that. And we're bringing some people with some technical prowess together on that. Judy Ratty's going to be joining us. Just made a commitment for you on that as well. So I think that's great. Before I turn this over to the rest of the members, and before I formally open the meeting, we're going to read the following statement. Adequate notice of this January 1st, 2015 meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act by posting written notice and agenda of this meeting on the bulletin board, Municipal Building 1000, Route 10, Township of Hanover, and by hand delivering, mailing, or faxing such notice and agenda to the following newspapers: Morris County's Daily Record, the Star Ledger, Hanover Eagle, and by filing same with the Township Clerk. You need another roll call, Mr. Administrator.
Committeeman Gallagher.
Aye.
Committeeman Ferramasca.
Aye.
Committeeman Bruno.
Aye.
Committeeman Capola.
Aye.
And Mayor Francioli.
Here.
5 members in attendance, sir.
Very, very good. Okay, where are you? All right, we have some wonderful things to do this morning. Recognition for some of our folks that have served with us so many, many years. I always talk about volunteerism here in our township, like other towns. It's the core of the help that we need to operate. And this year, Dominic Vigilante will be retiring as a member of the Board of Adjustment with 38 years of service to our community. Dom has done such a wonderful job over all of these years, and we appreciate every single minute that he's devoted to us here in Hanover. So, Dominic, are you not here today? Oh, Dominic, where are you? Okay. Well, come forward then. Come forward, so you can be accounted for. Okay.
Reminds me when I was in the service, I had it.
Okay. Well, you don't have to stand at attention. We want to, on behalf of the Township Committee, all the members of the Township Committee, we want to present you with this clock for all those years of service. So we hope every time you look at it, and I don't know, I didn't get any guarantees on whether or not it works, but every time you look at it, once you look at these guys, you're going to take a nice picture of you.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you. And it was an honor to serve on the board.
Don,
Bless you, Dominic.
we know you're not going to be too far. So,
And I've been on the board for 56 years, counting Morristown
and here as well.
Yeah, since I was 26 years old.
You talk about community service.
Yeah, community,
Right?
56 years.
Is that incredible?
I was on the zoning board in Morristown, 1958 to 1963. Then Mayor Manheim, when I moved to Hanover,
Yep.
he appointed me from 1963 to 1976 on the Morristown Airport Commission.
Oh, okay.
And then from the Morristown Airport Commission, I came here.
Really?
And that's the area.
Lots
God
of
56
time and
years.
lots of time and involvement. I mean, that speaks volumes of what the volunteers of this township do for us, and they do it, without any monetary benefit. They put in time, they put in effort to serve their fellow neighbors in this community. Got a wonderful group of volunteers on this. This one I meet with mixed emotions. George Van Orden, Dr. Van Orden, joined us just about the same time that I came to Hanover, or I came into office. And Dr. Van Orden will be retiring from Hanover Township, and he will be formally leaving us this February. George, where are you? When George came on, you know, we both were wet behind the ears, and he was a little further wet behind the ears because he spent a lot of time in the Whippany River. But George did so much for the township over this time period. Whippany River became the subject for his doctorate, and we're happy that we were part of that benefit when he did receive his doctorate. And by the way, there's a beautiful film that's available. I think it's going to be available shortly, Joe.
Yeah, will be.
That was done by the Whippany River Watershed Committee, and George really takes the lead in that film about clean water, the Whippany River, and what Hanover did in taking the lead in cleaning up the river. I don't want to say goodbye to you, George. I don't think anybody on the Township Committee wants to say goodbye to you, but I think we want to recognize certainly all you've done for the community and all you meant to us. And so I'd like you to come forward, and once again, I'd like to present something to you in the way of this clock. Okay? Hey, buddy, we'll have another meeting or two with you, right? We're in the difficult throes of trying to find a replacement for this guy, and it's not easy. Got it, Jim? That's the new camera. George, what's that? George, we move on. And additionally, Ed, where are you? Ed Schultz.
It's not here.
Ed, are you here?
Yes,
Did you show up this morning? You overslept. Okay. We have a presentation to Ed, who served us on the Environmental Commission for 25 years. A tremendous job, really representing us, not only here in the municipality, but bringing a voice to the county and to the state as to where Hanover Township puts its responsibilities in the environmental area. And although Ed is not here, we will be presenting him with the following plaque. So as soon as we see him, and we appreciate all of the service that he's given us and all the members of his board. Joe, you have
Next, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Mayor. It always gives me great pleasure to point out and recognize our municipal employees of the Hanover Sewerage Authority, who, in my mind, every single one of them are all professionals in their right, and I think we are very fortunate to have such a good group of professional employees. So at this time, as it has been past tradition and custom, we'd like to provide service pins to those individuals, and I'm going to call each one out by name, and if they're present, we do ask them to call and let us know if they're coming, but sometimes they don't. But I would ask you to hold your applause to the end, and we'll start with our custodian here at the municipal building, Louis Munez. Lou, step forward. 10 years of service to the township. Congratulations, Lou.
Congratulations.
God bless you, Louie. Good to see you.
These are all 10 years of service. Patrolman Brian Pilipai. We have 3 members of the Hanover Sewerage Authority, Vincent Mbimbo, German Garcia, Lauren Abrams. They're not here, but they will be given their pins. As we proceed, 15 years of distinguished service to the township. Township engineer, Gerardo Macera.
Congratulations, Jerry. Thank you.
You are such a wonderful friend.
Tracy,
Construction official and head of the building department, Sean Donnelly. Congratulations, Sean. Thank you.
Very good.
Congratulations, Sean.
Sure, thank you, congratulations.
God bless you, Sean.
School crossing guard, Ann Grill. Is Ann present? I see a lot of Ann when she's at her post, not far from where I live. And congratulations, Ann. Oops. Don't.
And thank you.
And Maria Diamore, Hanover Sewerage Authority. I don't believe Maria's here this morning. 20 years of service. Also school crossing guard, Diane Smith. Our supervisor of buildings and grounds, Public Works Department, Mark Spatola. Let's see Mark present. Hanover Sewerage Authority member, Michelle Melendez. Is Michelle here? No. And now 25 years of service for John Adamski, Hanover Sewerage Authority. And 25 years of service to Mary Colton, Recreation
Well done, Mary. Well done.
Like a teenager, man. Good going.
Next, 30 years of service to the Secretary of the Hanover Township Engineering Department, Susan Brady. Had a knee replacement. You're welcome. And she's going to have the other knee done soon. Maybe. Don't worry about it.
Relax, Sue, relax.
Don't.
Relax. Relax. Exactly.
See you, sweetie.
Congratulations, Sue.
Thank you. Congratulations.
You are such a dear person. God bless you. You're such a treasure. How come I'm getting older and you're getting younger? God bless you.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more presentation for 35 years of service, and that's to my executive assistant, Annette Luger. That's going something special.
There you go.
We gotta get out of the bubble wrap.
Wrapped pretty well.
A lot of bubble wrap. I have it from the bottom.
I hope so.
Talk about peeling the onion.
Oh, it's a beer
my
stein.
Look at that.
That's something else for you to dust.
Okay, Mary, you'll get it.
Oh, God, we're getting there.
This is with the etched seal of the Township of Hanover, and the inscription reads, presented by the Township Committee to Annette Luger for 35 years of outstanding service and dedication to the Township of Hanover, January 1st, 2015. Annette, with love and affection from all of us.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. What a surprise. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we'll proceed with the next portion of our business on page 2 of the agenda. These are all the regular appointments by the governing body, and we do it as a consent agenda, so I'm going to advise the Township Committee. I'm going to read off the position, the term, and the proposed appointments, and then we would entertain a motion as a consent agenda. So as we proceed, ladies and gentlemen, and bear with us as we go through this. For Township Attorney, 1-year term, Fred Samrow, Esquire, in the firm of Dorsey and Samrow. Auditors, Vincent Montanino and the firm of VM Associates Incorporated. These are all 1-year terms. Deputy Township Clerk, Catherine Iacuzzi. Municipal Prosecutor, Peter King, Esquire. The substitute alternate municipal prosecutors required by the county in the event that Mr. King is absent. We appoint all 38 prosecutors to take his place in the event he's not able to be at a court session. The public defender, Patrick Sagis. Alternate public defender, John Cesaro. Again, these are all 1-year terms. Court administrator, Andrea Contaldi. Full-time deputy court administrator, Sarah Henderson. And part-time deputy court administrators, Lauren Dalgower and Denise Buey. The CFO, treasurer, and utilities collector, tax search officer, again, 1-year term, Silvio Esposito. Assessment search officer, 1-year term, Gerardo Macera. Affirmative action, public agency compliance officer, Joseph Giorgio. Americans with Disabilities Act coordinator, Joseph Giorgio. Commissioner to the North Jersey Health Benefits Fund, Silvio Esposito. Commissioner to the Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, Silvio Esposito. And alternate commissioner to the Morris County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, Kelly Shuntz. Again, those are all 1-year terms. As we continue, representatives to the Community Development and Revenue Sharing Program Committee with the County of Morris, Gerardo Macera, David Leo, Joe Giorgio, Denise Brennan. To the Morris County Airport Advisory Committee, again, 1-year term, Kenneth C. Schleifer. Planning Board, Class 1, which is required by the Municipal Land Use Law. The mayor is required to sit on the Planning Board, 1-year term, Ronald F. Francioli. Planning Board, Class 3, 1-year term, John L. Ferramasca. Board of Adjustment, these are all 4-year terms, Carol Fomchenko, Benjamin Stanzial, Jim Neidhart. On 2-year terms, unexpired terms, John Caruso, 2-year unexpired term, Edward Walsh. They're filling the position of 2 members who resigned. Alternate 1 on the Board of Adjustment, a 2-year term, John Donaldson. Alternate 2 on the Board of Adjustment, Judy Irati. Board of Health, 3-year term, Richard Cara. Environmental Commission, 3-year term, Thomas Gallagher. Alternate 2, 3-year term, Dennis Dietrich. Alternate 1, 3-year term on the Environmental Commission, Dennis Wilson. Landmark Commission, these are 4-year terms, Pamela Petrillo, Mark Sika. Alternate 1 on the Landmark Commission, Leonardo Ferriello. Recreation Commission, a 5-year term, Patrick Sages. Open Space Advisory Committee, Robert Dean. Cultural Arts Committee, these are 3-year terms, Edward Pines, Sachi Patel, Joanne McHugh, Grace Hancock, and Dick Hancock. Economic Development Advisory Committee, these are alternate positions. Alternate 2-member, John R. Tort Jr. Alternate 3-member, Daniel E. Bonilla. Substance Awareness Council, all one-year terms of appointment. Peter Birkenkamp, Michelle Blanchfield, Claire Bruno, Valerie Forte, Sibylla Duback, Thomas Gallagher, Carol Giorgio, Lisa Hall, Stephen Loyola, Dana Ash, Colleen Murphy, Michael Murphy, Brian Palumbo, Kimberly Payne, Sal Sino, Karen Perry, Kristen Dukac, Grace Jacobson, Rebecca Sillis, John Atkins, Chantel Miliziano, Stephen Furter, Mark Brzozowski, Vincent LaRocca, Kim Knaus, Mary Beth Lombardino. Those are all one-year terms. And finally, the Green Team Advisory Committee, which works closely with the Environmental Commission. Edward Schultz, John Hendricks, Severio Iannacone, Phil Glaoui, Ron Sorrell, Robert Steiger, John Faramasca, Thomas Gallagher, Dennis Dietrich, Brian Foran, David Leo, and Peter Baza. Are there any questions from members of the governing body concerning any of the appointments?
I
We
think
have a motion.
we have more.
Second.
Sorry, they're additional. Yeah, page 5.
Yeah.
Mayor's appointment to
Yeah.
planning board.
We want to take those.
They come
toward the end.
because
Separate?
those
Yeah.
are,
Okay. All right.
Mayor's appointments, yeah. Okay, do we have a motion on all the, we have a motion by
Second.
Committeeman Gallagher, Committeeman Capola, second by Committeeman Gallagher. On roll call, Committeeman Gallagher,
Aye.
Committeeman Faramasca.
Aye.
Committeeman Bruno.
Aye.
Committeeman Capola. And Mayor Franciulli.
Aye.
So approved. Ladies and gentlemen, on page 3, again, we have 14, or more than 14 resolutions here. Again, as a consent agenda on designation of depository funds, 3, designation of investment officials, designation of a professional services, designation of official newspapers, fixing the rate of interest to be charged for delinquent taxes or assessments, cancellation of tax overpayments on delinquent taxes of $10 or less, waiving the interest and penalties on any past due charges, age 65 and over, authorizing the annual tax sale, the designation of special service officers and special assignment personnel, authorization of the temporary appropriation for the 2015 budget, designation of the Township Committee meeting dates, vehicle allowance, tax appeal authorizations, and the cash management plan. May we have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Franciulli, seconded by Mr. Gallagher. On roll call, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Faramasca.
Aye.
Mr. Bruno.
Aye.
Mr. Capola.
Aye.
And Mr. Franciulli.
Aye.
Next are the appointments by the mayor to the planning board.
Okay, you want me to take that, or you want to take that?
Go
Okay.
ahead, Mr.
These are mayor's appointments, ladies and gentlemen, as they're designated, but these have been discussed by the Township Committee with their ratification and approval for a Class 4 member for 4 years to the Planning Board. He's been continuing to serve as Peter Denegris. Peter, Class 4 Alternate 2, which was a vacant position, which will now be filled by Michael Mahalko. And Class 3 membership still remains vacant until we choose under Class 3. An individual from the board must serve on 2 governmental bodies. Having said that, you need a motion on
So
that?
Yes,
moved.
we have a
Okay.
motion, second on roll call, Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Faramasca.
Aye.
Mr. Bruno.
Aye.
Mr. Capola.
Aye.
And Mr. Franciulli.
Aye.
So approved, Mr. Chairman. We have
Okay.
committee assignments.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, do you want to do that? All right. We're going to move on to committee assignments, and there we go. What'd you do to my page? Hang on, here we go. Flip that around.
There you go.
These are assignments, each one of the Township Committee members is a liaison or director to various boards and various committees and various organizations within the township, and these have been decided as follows. I'll start with the chair or vice deputy chair, director of planning and zoning, engineering department, and liaison to the Economic Development Advisory Committee. Liaison to the Hanover Sewage Authority, Water Authority, and a member of the Green Team is Committeeman and Deputy Mayor John Faramasca. The Director of Public Safety, which includes the Police Department, the Boards of Fire Commissioners of Fire Districts 2 and 3, First Aid Squad, Office of Emergency Management, Liaison to the Landmark Commission, the Township Senior Citizens Club and Veterans Alliance is George Capola, Committeeman Capola. Director of Buildings Department and Recreation and Park Administration Department, Liaison to the Hanover Park Regional High School District Cultural Arts Committee will be Robert Bruno Jr. Rob. The Director of Public Works, Buildings and Grounds, Park Maintenance Department, and Liaison to the Hanover Township School District, Liaison to the Open Space Advisory Committee, Substance Awareness Council, Environmental Commission, the Township's Garden Club, and Whippany Library. Good luck. Is our newest member, Tom Gallagher. Thomas Gallagher. Okay, Tom. Very good. Congratulations. Our bid committee members will be as follows. We'll be a member of our Public Works Department. That's Tom Gallagher, Joe Giorgio, Kathy Iacosi, Jerry Macera, David Leo, Brian Ferran, Denise Brennan, and or alternate designees. Yours truly will serve in capacity as chairman of the Township Committee, Director of Administration and Finance, Personnel and Violations Bureau, Municipal Court, Liaison to the Board of Health, ex officio member of the Economic Development Advisory Committee, and the Planning Board is myself. So, Mr. Administrator, take note of those. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna move on to the segment of it for comments from members of our Township Committee. I'd like to begin, and I'm going to be brief because I know my other fellow members of the committees have much to share with you. But I do want to say that how proud I am of you and our township as we move forward into 2015. This has been an exceptional 2014 for Hanover Township. Exceptional in every way, fiscally, et cetera, and growth in the township and the quality of ratables that we brought into this township, bar none. Hanover has been rewarded with companies like Bayer Healthcare, and I might say Bayer Healthcare, as large as they are, 770,000 square feet, announces that they will be doing an expansion of that facility, which is nearly filled out already. It'll be another 300,000 square feet. So we're absolutely ecstatic over it. The concerns that we've had for what we call the South Campus, which is the other side of Bayer, are being resolved. The Township Committee, as you might know from previous meetings, but if you do not know, did not change the zone, will not change the zone. It remains Office Building Research Lab, OBRL, and under that there will be no residential housing, no rentals, no market housing, et cetera, developed in that area at all. And to that end, interestingly enough, we're prepared to announce a new neighbor that's going to be taking the front portion of that property, and that is MetLife. MetLife will be joining us in 2015-16, 200,000 square foot building. It'll become their flagship here in Hanover Township. Many of you know they're on Columbia Turnpike and Park Avenue right now. That's a lease building. They'll be vacating that building. Frank, they're not coming to your town, so don't start salivating over there. He's getting Honeywell, so let's not get greedy. And they're coming here to the front portion of the South Campus. We are elated to have them join in with us as well. Red Bulls announced an expansion. They're putting on the third soccer field to the training facility they have down there on Melanie Lane. They've done some wonderful things with our kids, and they will continue to do so. ShopRite has a store that's well in operation, as you know right now. Many of you have been in there. Many of you are using it. Very large facility there. They're before your Township Committee at this time for something somewhat controversial, but we're in the throes of a hearing. They are looking to have a liquor license, not for packaged goods. As you know, you can go in there and buy your wine and your beer, etc., packaged goods. But they're looking for a serving license, so that gives them the right, if Township Committee so decides in the course of the hearing, that they will be able to serve liquor within the metes and bounds of the store. To be discussed, continuation of that hearing. Wegmans Food Stores, for 2 years, has been threatening to come into Hanover Township. And my wife still wants her own parking space. I have heard from Matt Calley and through Mitch Hirsch, their CEO, that they have signed construction contracts. So they will be coming in to that piece of property across the street from the Marriott on the Matt Calley land. That project, including the food facility itself and other buildings, will be in excess of 200,000 square feet. Lowe's will not be joining us. As you know, there was a lot of controversy over Lowe's taking Ridgedale Avenue and Hanover Avenue, the Burlex property. They will not be joining us. They have decided for market conditions in their retail area right now to hold back, so they did not enter into a lease. And Whippany Village continues to plague the Township Committee. We are not going to relent in our wanting that to be a planned unit development area, so we're not going to relax on the zoning there. Whippany Fire Company has their facilities, which they're selling on that property right now. And as many have seen on Troy Hills Road, Whippany Fire Company is going to be beginning their new building there for construction. And again, they'll be selling the facilities they have at the Whippany Village site. That's really it. That's a little snapshot. Quick update on municipal goals, and then I'm going to relieve the floor here. We continue into 2015. Where's Silvio? I've got, he's holding his ears. Hold your ears all you want. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. We're looking to, again, deliver a zero tax increase for Hanover Township for 2015. And we are going to struggle to make that happen. I say struggle, and one thing, you know, it's one thing when we can make decisions here in our municipal government for what we're doing. It's another thing when we get outside influences from the state. The pension fund from the state's going to impact us by some $200,000. There are other outside influences from the state that will probably impact our budget as well. Some of them are anticipated, some of them are not. Nevertheless, those will be conditions that decide how we do. But we are going to shoot for that zero tax increase. We still remain with no bonded debt. One of the few townships in the county that remains that way. We're talked about on the county level. We have no bonded debt. We don't intend to have any bonded debt, and we'll continue with cigar box budgeting. We don't have the money, it doesn't get spent, and that's really it. We're looking for a great deal of infrastructure improvements in the coming year. Perhaps John will talk a little bit more about those. Where sidewalk, streets, roads are concerned, we want to put a good deal of money into those. And finally, for our employees who have been so dedicated to us and so committed to Hanover Township through good times, bad times, good times, we will be looking at our employees with an open review of our cost of livings, open review of what the cap laws will allow us, and we'll give true and open consideration to what we can do for our employees in the year ahead. We want to strengthen our economic policies here. We're doing fine. We're developing wonderful relationships. Frank's here today and Sue's here today. Wonderful relationships with our mayors around the surrounding area and the region. We know what the problems are. We live here. We know the traffic conditions are not what we find suitable. They're regional issues. We've got to do more as far as getting together with some of the captains and leaderships and CEOs of corporates in the area to talk about what we can do with other means of moving traffic around. We know it's going to take time for mass transit to continue in the area. We know it's going to take time for greater road improvements, but there's some immediate things that we can do with our CEOs where flex time is concerned, where management of our employees are concerned, where we put them on the roads, etc. We're going to try and work something out in the temporary. I hope we get done with the 287 bridge. I think that's going to be a big help. When that gets done, that'll keep some of the traffic off our Jefferson Road and Whippany roads as well. On that note, one other good piece of news, and then I'm going to relinquish the floor, and that is that you've all heard us struggling over the years, many years, 33 that I know of, with COA, Council of Affordable Housing. It has put dictates on this township, many other townships, as to how much low and moderate housing we have to have in our townships. We have complied here in Hanover Township. We have made every effort to make sure that the requirements that have been put upon us by the state and the COA laws have been met. And you know what? We're done. We met them. This year, we will have less than 9 units responsible for us under COA. So a good round of applause to everybody in this room. That means that all the developers that want to come knocking on the door and threatening us with lawsuits under building remedy, go home. So that's where we are there. On that note, I will turn the floor over to Deputy Mayor Farah for comments.
Well, thank you, Mayor. First, happy and healthy New Year to all. New Year's thoughts typically focus on what I call the 3 R's: reflection, recognition, and resolution. I'll begin talking a little bit about recognition by thanking the department heads and the board leaders and the members of those boards, because these are the people who make it happen. And so if they're here while I call out their name, just raise your hand. Be acknowledged, please. Economic Development is chaired by Dan Breen and his team. Planning and Board of Adjustment, Mr. Blaise Branchow, Chairman Barb Nardone, and Chairman of the Board of Adjustment, Ben Stanzial. Engineering is led by Jerry Macera, along with Dave Leo and engineering staff. Sewerage Authority, led by Mike Wynn and Chair Joe Schleifer. Thanks also goes to our business administrator, Joe Giorgio, who really puts this all together. As all of these wonderful things are done, Mr. Giorgio is central part and really a key business manager who's representing us all, along with his staff, and special recognition to my fellow committee members for their support in making this a very successful year. I'd also like to give a shout out to my wife Kathy for her support, her counsel, and what I call her express gourmet dinners, which make my meeting nights seem to go a lot better. So thank you, Kathy.
You do good.
Reflections this year.
I don't get dinner.
I do marriage counseling. Call me.
I shouldn't go home?
No, come over.
Some reflections about this year. EDAC, Economic Development Advisory Council, continues to lead the way in developing successful strategies to attract what we call quality, prestigious icons to improve our rateable base while preserving equally the quality of life in Hanover Township. So it's a twofold goal. It's attract the best and still maintain the best as we can for the people who live in Hanover Township. Here this year we welcome Bear Healthcare. We welcome ShopRite, a world-class supermarket, and Universe Corporation. EDAC also conducted a marketing campaign to improve the Hanover corporate image to businesses. And you're going to be hearing a lot more about this through the course of the year, but they came up with a tagline, and the tagline, I think, is very, very symbolic of Hanover Township. And that tagline is, "Good things happen in Hanover." So we're going to be using that throughout the year to celebrate the good things that happen in Hanover. In addition, EDAC spearheaded what we call a town-wide connectivity plan to create jogging, hiking, walking, biking trails. Hanover is working on the forefront with the county and is seeking all available grant opportunities to help pay for those. Special thanks goes out to my committeeman, fellow committeeman, Bruno, for helping to co-lead this initiative. Your planning board was very busy working on strategies and plans to help shape the future of Hanover with the goal to keep Hanover a great suburban place to live. They supported smart redevelopment efforts. They reviewed, they approved 6 major applications to include ShopRite's expansion. You see stores coming up along, in the area of the front part of the parking lot. That was all part of the plan. That's gone through a whole review. Johnstone Supply on Jefferson Road, next to the former General Post Office, which now is occupied UniFirst. And Red Bull's professional soccer team, their expansion. In addition, the mayor spoke about key land use ordinances were amended this year. Number 1, we affirmed the planning vision of what we call the OBRL zone on the South Campus, nearby the Heritage Woods community. This is to support office space. Office and business and research labs have served this community well there for over 75 years. We're pleased to see that Metropolitan Life has an application coming in within 10 days to planning to occupy on the South Campus. We also initiated what's called the Township Center Zone. This is on Eden Lane, formerly referred to as the paper mill. Well, we introduced an ordinance that supported a court-ordered settlement that goes back to 2007. And that court-ordered settlement includes 120 senior housing units, something which we need in our town. Master plan initiatives. We initiated what we call the Route 10 corridor study. We're working on trying to reinvent Route 10. It's a major corridor within our community. What shall it be 10 years from now? What shall it be 20 years from now? We need to be thinking down the path as to how that's going to be developed. We also conducted a socioeconomic impact study to guide residential growth and to manage what the mayor referred to as New Jersey State's COA housing demands. From an engineering standpoint, it was very demanding. It was a very busy year for Mr. Macera and his staff. There were over 60 projects completed successfully. Also, in addition, they were successful in generating New Jersey grants in excess of $350,000. Road repairs was the big focus point for 2013, 2014, and it'll be again in 2015. We repaired Melanie Lane, we resurfaced Smithfield Road, Apple Tree, Dogwood, North Pound, and Fenwick. And we've completed the easterly portion of Eden Lane, and we will soon be getting the remaining portion of Eden. In addition to working on the roads in terms of repairing the roads, engineering worked closely with our water department and other entities with serving our community to make sure that when they disrupt your they restore to schools initiatives. This is led by, cooperatively, Mr. Gallagher and Mr. Coppola in trying to improve the safety for our children going to school. And additionally, we really appreciate the work that the engineering group did with our Trails Connectivity program. Lastly, engineering has responsibility for trees in terms of tree management. We have an arborist. They restored successful programs. They gave away over 100 trees this year and 500 seedlings in cooperation with the Boy Scouts during our Summer Concert Park series. HSA, again, an award-winning performance from that group. They continue to perform as a best practice facility. They're very important to our economic development. Sewerage capacity is a central element to economic development. And if you're going to attract quality ratables like Bayer, like UniFirst, like the Red Bulls, like ShopRite, like Wegmans, we need that to be state-of-the-art. Factoid capacity. The system consists of 85 miles of pipe. This year, they inspected via TV camera and cleaned out 5 miles of pipe. They've won awards recognized for 25 years in a row now by the National Association of Clean Water Agencies, along with JIF Safety Awards, and in addition, the Association of Environmental Authorities Best Practice Awards. As for resolutions, I look forward to working this new year with my fellow committeemen, Mr. Giorgio, the business administrator, Mr. Esposito, our CFO, the department heads, the municipal staff, to ensure Hanover remains a great, affordable place to live, to work, and to play. This year marks the end of my term. It's been a pleasure, it's been a true honor to serve the people of Hanover. It's my intention to seek re-election to continue my service to the people of Hanover. Mr. Mayor, that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, John. John forgot to mention that HSA still has the only gravity feed sewer system in the United States. You know that expression, it all goes downhill? Well, HSA knows it, that's for sure. On this note, I'd like to turn the floor over to Director of Public Safety and Committeeman George Coppola. George.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I would like to wish everyone and your family a very happy, healthy, and blessed New Year. I'd also like to congratulate my running mate, Bob Bruno, on his re-election and us together staying on the committee. Usually I'm kind of the last person to speak, but I had a comment that said, you know, rather than listening to me, I got everything on those folders up there. I made a dozen folders. That is a summary of the summaries I have here. So please, take the opportunity. There is a great deal of information in there. It's all summarized so you can go through it quickly. If folks take them all, I will be more than happy to make a copy for you and deliver it to your house. First, I want to thank my good friend Judge Brian O'Toole for doing me the honors of administering the oath of office. To me, he's one of the finest gentlemen that I'm honored to be associated with. I'm very happy that he was able to do it for me. I know we don't like this, but I want to thank my wife, Phyllis, of 53 years as of Tuesday, and my daughter Nancy for all their support and encouragement. The Landmark Commission, under the leadership of Chairman Mike Chesnicki, has been and continues to be extremely active in our community to preserve its heritage and history. And that's one of the things I've learned, especially from folks like Don Cadu and all. We have so much history in this town. This year, the Landmark Commission underwent a number of key initiatives to include our burial yard on Route 10, which you will see in the beautiful brochure that's in that packet. They ended the year hosting a county-wide forum on Morris County's huge iron industry. It was well attended by over 200 people from all different municipalities in Morris County. You know, the absolute success of the Landmark Commission can be measured by most part due to the huge support that we receive from the Township Committee. I can tell you very honestly, without their support, much of the history and heritage would shamefully disappear. Most recently at our forum, I thank the Mayor Francioli, who made the welcoming remarks, which ended up us having a real great day. And you could tell the success of that day because it was supposed to go from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock and folks didn't leave till 4. As for the police department, with our current chief, Stephen Gallagher, they have a number of numerous public safety programs. Just a few. DWI program, which helps to keep folks that are impaired off the road. Lieutenant Roddy, Sergeant Locker, and Sergeant Williams, they participate as members of the Morris County Rapid Development Team. Chief Gallagher and Sergeant Locke participate as active members of the School Safety Zone Committee, which was started by Committeeman Ace Gallagher, which has done a great job with making sure that people driving to and from school stay within a prescribed limit. Patrolman Kaiser was honored for outstanding and distinguished service for MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving program. This list can go on, but none of the aforementioned take into account the endless hours our police officers spend to protect and serve. We had a patrolman retire this year, and we were fortunate to acquire 2 new academy-trained police officers, Ed Zakowicki and Rich Kamasta, which we welcome to our family. The OEM team, under the leadership of Thomas Quirk, has much to be pleased with its new OEM trailer, its OEM command trailer. When you go over to Town Hall, to the community center, you'll see it parked over there. It's a beautiful trailer used for emergency services, and thanks to a number of local contractors who donated their either service, material, or both to make this command trailer a real beauty for Hanover Township. Fire District 2 under Chief Joe Cartwright, Fire District 3 under Chief Jim Davison continue to do a great job. Very briefly, fire calls, 1,205. Emergency calls, 1,590. And training hours, 3,569. Now I'm going to touch on a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. I am extremely proud to be liaison to the police public safety. Our police, fire, EMS, and OEM are one of the finest groups in the state of New Jersey. It bothers me a lot to hear of so much criticism of our men and women in blue. As someone who had worked side by side with all of these public safety personnel for almost 20 years, what people don't see are police officers responding to many calls, whether criminal, medical, or non-emergency. Firefighters responding and spending cold, frigid nights fighting fires. It is the police, fire, EMS, and OEM personnel who are first responders, and I am grateful for the service they provide to our residents. Every day, police officers throughout the United States put on his or her uniform that carries with it the responsibility to put themselves between good and evil, to ensure the safety of all the residents of their respective communities. They ultimately leave their families every day, not knowing if they will see them at the end of their shift, and I think this was quite evident most recently in New York. Lastly, I'm proud of all we as a committee have accomplished and how far we have progressed since my first taking office in 2009. And I look forward to even more positive future for the residents of Hanover Township. And all of these successes, as far as I'm concerned, are directly attributed not only to the Township Committee, but to the staff that we have, Mr. Giorgio and his staff, who really do a good job. Anytime you call them up, ask them a question, he's right back with an answer. Again, I wish everyone a very happy, healthy, and blessed New Year.
George, thank you very much for those remarks, and by seniority, I'm going to go to Committeeman Bob Bruno. Bob?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, fellow committeemen, and congratulations also to George Coppola on his reelection. Once again, I appreciate everybody coming out today, taking up some time, undoubtedly missing a football game here and there to come out and support your township committee and your government. I'd also like to thank my wife and kids for their support and their our express gourmet dinners, which usually consist of pizza on committee night, but that's okay. But I thank them for their patience also. Your government, your township committee is working hard to be successful, and the dictionary is the only place where success comes before work. You know, ha ha ha, but the reality is we have had some success. There's still a lot to do in 2015, but we all put in a lot of time for the benefit of the residents of town, and we really thank you for your support. Now, I'll speak about the Cultural Affairs, or DPW, and the Recreation. I'm one of the last two people standing in between you and a nice buffet lunch that's over in the Rec Center, so respect your time. The Cultural Arts Committee, headed by Ed Abalou, who I believe is in the back, had one of their best years. Highest attendance, 140 to 150 people for every event that they offered, so congratulations on that. Two new annual events, the Cabaret and Hanover Township Day Art Project. They also attended Bayer's open house and got to present some of their programs for the first time. They showed some of our neighbors at Bayer some of the programs that they have to offer. They set up a new website, an email distribution list, and have had a lot of presentations, including some fine art that's hanging on the halls here in the Township Municipal Building. So please support our Cultural Arts Committee. On to DPW. I want to thank Brian Ferran, our superintendent. His associates, Alan Apgar, and I see Brian DePrimo, one of the supervisors, are here today. Did an excellent job, as always. We're from the DPW, Pat Doonan, after 30-plus years. John Sesak, after 25 years, and Bob Peters, 16 years. They were recognized at previous committee meetings. I want to talk about garbage for a minute. Can we get excited about garbage and garbage pickup? 2 automated trucks. The third is the entire town will be picked up by an automated truck. In fact, the can Monday and Tuesday, I believe. This has been a great investment for the township. Those trucks have allowed us to now free up employees, so we haven't reduced headcount, but they freed up the employees to do other things like painting, painting buildings and line painting as well. More time to patch potholes. So we haven't reduced the headcount. We've saved a tremendous amount of money, and we will continue to save money on our disability insurance, so we don't have people jumping off the backs of the trucks anymore and hurting their knees and their ankles and their hips and everything else. So those automated trucks have really been a godsend, and it was a lot of hard work to get them in place, and yes, they were expensive, but as the mayor mentioned, no bonded debt, so they were all paid for, and they're really going to help us for years to come. DPW did a great job. Everybody remembers the winter of 2014, how awful it was. The roads are salted and paved on a very timely basis. I know Brian Ferran goes many sleepless nights watching the weather report and the radar, trying to anticipate, are we going to get 2 inches of snow or 12 inches of snow? And there's often many contradictions. The Parks and Field Maintenance Division does a great job with the ball fields in town, keeping them ready to play, cutting, fertilizing, striping the fields, and so forth. So we do all that ourselves. Next year, we're looking at a new dump truck, so we are going to continue to invest in capital to help our DPW be self-sufficient and also assist both with recreation projects and any place else they're needed. So thanks to the guys from DPW for doing a tremendous job. And last but certainly not least, our Recreation and Parks Administration, led by our Superintendent Denise Brennan, assisted ably by our President, Jim Coyley. Parks and Recreation does a tremendous job with many different programs in town. We're not self-sufficient from a monetary standpoint, but collected over $180,000 in donations, registration fees, sponsorships, so in many instances it's at least partly self-funded. We have a lot of great supporters who do many things in terms of donations, both of money and time. We have a number of different programs available. We're always adding new programs. Over 1,500 children and adults participated in recreation programs this year. Summer camp, over 100 kids. Trips to Paper Mill Playhouse. Special events, Hanover Township Day. Over 3,500 residents attended Hanover Township Day, despite the 90-degree plus temperatures. That was a tremendous success. We also had our patriotic display of fireworks this year. As some of you may know, the high school fields are being redone with turf, so we won't be able to have the fireworks at the high school this year. So if you have a big piece of property that you'd be willing to lend us for the evening, we'd love to have it. I know I've got to speed up the process here. Our summer concerts, which are free, again, thanks to our sponsors. I set the timer here for everyone and was convinced that I would come in under 5 minutes, and I haven't done that, so I apologize. But a few more things. Bee Meadow Pool, we had our 50th anniversary last year. This year we put in a new diving board. For some of you that were members in years past, the diving boards were taken out because of insurance purposes, but we put it in sideways this year, which is allowed by our insurance company, and the diving board is back in place. We're also going to be putting in a new playground with a basketball court and some other things to keep some of the older kids coming back to the pool. Dial-A-Ride did a tremendous job. Our new van is on order. We ordered it in May. It still hasn't come in yet. This must be some luxury van. It's paid for. It's not a Rolls Royce, but it's a long time in getting here. Frankly, I'm not sure why, but we've given a deposit, so there was no turning back. Personnel and Recreation, want to congratulate Ellie Birkenkamp and thank her for her many years of service to the Recreation Commission. Even though Ellie retired, she was the first one at our Christmas pageant for the kids, first volunteer there, so she's still helping out. We really appreciate her doing that. Again, congratulations to Mary Colton, 25 years, our newest member, and our part-time activity coordinator, Tom Quirk, already doing a great job. We're happy to have him on board with Recreation. And our goals for 2015 are numerous, but again, many good programs in the works. So we're looking forward to a great year ahead in 2015. Last thing, can I end with just a little humor? Can we poke a little fun at our own government? This is one I thought might have been appropriate. I don't want to cut into my fellow committeemen's time by too much here, but there's a story of government trying to assess themselves, figure out whether they're doing a good job or maybe not doing such a good job. So they went to an Indian reservation and they saw that one of the chiefs, who was about 90 years old, and they said, you're a wise person, you've been here living on the land for a long time, and government is the American government has taken over. Can you give us a little bit of an assessment on what kind of a job you've done? So he thought about it for a minute, and he looked up and he said, well, when you got here, we were already here running the land pretty effectively. We had no taxes, we had no debt, there were plenty of buffalo roaming around. The medicine man was free. The women basically did all the work. And the men were free to hunt and fish all day, and then at night might be able to spend the night with, a nice pretty squaw. And your government came in, and they were dumb enough to think they could improve upon that. Thank you very much. We'll see you.
Very good. You give them 5, I know they're going to take 10.
Kept it under 9.
I mean, it's a given. It's a given. But anyway, at last but not least, the newest member of our Township Committee, and he's winding up his first dynamic year on the Township Committee, and I don't need to introduce you to Ace Tom Gallagher. Tom?
Thanks, Mayor. The fact that I'm the only thing that stands between my fellow residents and lunch is a problem, and I will try to make it not a problem. First of all, I'd like to say Happy New Year, and I hope everyone is having a very nice holiday season. I would also like to thank my family, Sheila and my kids, Danny and Katie, for understanding and supporting me for being out of the house so much in 2014. Before I begin with a quick overview from the groups I've worked with in 2014, I would like to thank everyone in Hanover Township that works here and those that volunteer their time and skills to make this an even better place for us all to live and raise our families. A few months ago, a great friend of mine, Chief Balkar, said to me, there are a lot of good things happening in Hanover Township right now, and I immediately said, because many very good people are working extremely hard to make good things happen, and that is the entire Hanover Township team. So thank you again, everyone, for everything, and thank you for wanting me to be part of your team. My first group, as you know, is the Hanover Township Substance Awareness Council, and the purpose of it is a very serious passion of mine and the rest of my Township Committee. This council, under the leadership of our chairperson, Carol Giorgio, had a very good, productive year. I'd like to just run through a few highlights. We sponsored various programs that were conducted at the high school, the middle school, and our elementary schools. Further developed our website and Facebook page to better share information with our parents as it relates to drug and alcohol education and awareness. We ran several Hanover Youth Nights in conjunction with local businesses such as American Martial Arts and the Florham Park Roller Rink. We sponsored an internet safety workshop for all our elementary school students, and at that same evening, we held the same workshop for their parents. Attended training sessions and quarterly meetings as required by the county. Purchased informational handouts for our concert series and Hanover Township Day. Purchased and cooperated with the Hanover Township Police Department in utilizing our Fatal Vision goggles. These goggles replicate the way you see things if you were intoxicated. These have been used and will be used and always available to our schools and our police department. We purchased a large drug ID display, sponsored and coordinated the hugely successful volleyball tournament/picnic at Whippany Park High School. This year we began working closely with the Cedar Knolls Fire Department, the Whippany Fire Department, the Rotary Club, the Knights of Columbus, the Boy Scouts, and other local sports leagues. We co-sponsored a pre-concert show featuring the Whiptones where they performed their award-winning song, Shout Down Drugs. We made a special presentation to our seniors regarding internet safety, situational awareness, and identity theft, and tips on how to avoid it. This presentation featured the Hanover Township Police Department and 2 members of the United States Secret Service courtesy of American Martial Arts. We are always working lockstep with our schools to do everything we can to form a front line to educate and protect our kids from drug and alcohol abuse. In 2015, we plan on adding many more good programs and will only get stronger and more focused. I'm actually doing okay on time. The Hanover Township School and Park Traffic Safety Advisory Committee. The Hanover Township Committee established this subcommittee with representatives from the Township Committee, the Police Department, the DPW, Engineering, Crossing Guards, our elementary school superintendent, and school board members. We held a public meeting to gather input to determine areas of concern in and around our schools and parks. We conducted traffic safety assessments at all our schools. coordinated the installation and updated sign warning signal replacements and additions, deployed several portable solar-powered radar speed indicators around all the schools, worked with numerous Hanover Township recreation programs to gain cooperation with our committee's mission. We provided a Halloween safety message which was distributed through the schools and many programs in town. Introduced and continue to support the PTA's Walking School Bus Initiative. This committee has decided to hold a public hearing each February to ensure we will always stay in touch with our families and their traffic and safety concerns around our schools and parks. We are currently putting together our objectives for 2015 and will submit our recommendations to the Township Committee just after our next public hearing. The Green Team and Environmental Commission also had a very productive year. Just a few accomplishments from these groups. Supported the very successful tree giveaway, supported the 3rd grade Arbor Day celebration at 7 schools in Hanover Township, teamed up with Employment Horizons for 2 successful paper shred days, participated in Hanover Township Day, created a new Adopt a Spot program with the Garden Club and private contractors to beautify certain intersections in town, championed awareness building for special events such as the disposal of outdated medicine drop-off at our police headquarters, and the Green Team achieved bronze status of operations in energy-friendly projects. Almost done.
Have a drink.
Thanks, Mayor.
Good.
The Building Department. Our Mayor and Deputy Mayor covered a lot of the accomplishments and a lot of the good news that's happening in Hanover Township, but I would just like to say some of the projects completed are the Greater Morristown ShopRite, 178 Hanover Avenue, Waterview at Hanover off American Road, Woodmont Estates at 255 Cedar Knolls Road. Major construction projects currently underway or near completion is UniFirst Company on 56 South Jefferson Road, St. John the Baptist Ukrainian Church, 60 North Jefferson Road, Johnstone Supply, 48 South Jefferson Road, and the Greater Morristown Area ShopRite, as many of you have seen, they're putting in 8 smaller retail stores in the front of that. Maserati of Morris County on Route 10, Norman Gale had an expansion over here at 1247 Ridgedale Avenue. The new aircraft hangar at the airport, almost. The new Whippany Fire Station, Laurel Estates, and the Quick Check here on Jefferson Road and Route 10. The library also had an incredible year with many new programs, and these guys are doing a fantastic job and have plenty more to come in 2015. And I would just also like to take a minute to say, with completing 1 year on your township committee, I appreciate every one of you. I speak to a lot of you quite a bit about concerns and issues in town, and I want to thank my fellow committeemen. We spend quite a bit of time together. We spend quite a bit of time with emails and phone calls. And Joe Giorgio, I can't say enough about how helpful you've been and what a great job you do here in town with your staff. And many of you know that I'm pretty quick with the cell phone. I do have an unlimited minute plan. And I talk to Joe Giorgio at least.
He's using a lot of it right now.
I talk to Joe at least once a day. So thank you very much. That's my report. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
It's very important. Last but not least, you've heard so many of my committeemen thanking their spouses, thanking their families for being here, and that's critically important. We would not be able to give the time and give the service that we are to the community if we didn't have the support at home. And our wives and families go, for the most part, unrecognized. But, I'd like to take a moment right now for a second so that you all know who they are, where they are. So Carol, Kathy, and Phyllis, and Sheila, and Sharon, please stand up. Please stand up for a second. From all of us, thank you very much for all the hours. Does that mean I get dinner tonight? It was
Almost, Ron.
okay. I don't have to tell you that you're all cordially invited, and I know Father's going to have a brief prayer for us in a moment, but you're cordially invited to join us at the community center across the parking lot for a reception. We'll all be there. Love to talk to you some more. or maybe you don't want us to talk to you some more. And, but on that note, Mr. Administrator, for
Thank you,
closing
Mayor.
prayer.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the closing prayer delivered by Reverend Father Jude Salas.
Dear Jesus, you couldn't bear to know that we would not know how much you love us, so you became one of us. Help us every day to become more like you, and we ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. God bless you all.
Thank you all.
Motion for adjournment.
All in favor?
Right back at you, my love. Please keep praying for me, okay, sweetie? God bless you.
Very good. I've never seen you before.
Good job, Ace.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm under the weather, I'm trying to get people